Good morning. This is Ray Duncan at Cedars-Sinai. I'll be talking to you about Vinci quality measures and event notification. This is a project we've been working on for about a year. Just a little background on Cedars. This is a healthcare system. It's about a little over 100 years old. It was started mainly as a hospital, but has recently been expanding to include a number of institutes, other community hospitals, and a very large outpatient footprint. This map shows you our catchment area. We're mainly in the west side of Los Angeles with some outposts in the San Fernando Valley and the South Bay region. The other large organizations in our area are Kaiser, Providence, and UCLA. We've been working on this project as part of the Vivity HMO. The Vivity HMO is a partnership of Anthem as the payer and 7 large Southern California provider organizations, including UCLA, Huntington Memorial Care, and Dignity Health. The Anthem and Vivity Clinical Repository is managed by Care Evolution, which is the technical staff that we have been working with on this project. The Vinci project is a collaborative effort of payers and healthcare organizations, for those of you who have not heard of it, to standardize FHIR-based interfaces between payers and healthcare organizations, replacing the legacy interfaces that most of us are still using. The work product of the Vinci project is being validated by HL7 and becomes part of the HL7 FHIR standard. We joined the Vinci project as a healthcare organization member sponsored by Anthem. There are a number of Vinci use cases. Some of them are very complex. We picked out a couple to work on that involved sort of minimal build by the Epic application teams. Epic is at our EMR, but we were able to work on most of this as an integration issue in the background without changes to provider workflows. The first thing we tackled was event notifications for primary care physicians. Often if Epic, our EMR, does have some provisions for doing event notifications between Epic customers, but if one of our patients was seen at an organization that wasn't using Epic, we would not hear about that. Also, the Epic notifications have a number of limitations. The data flow for this is that the encounter events from the Care Evolution repository are posted to a Cedars endpoint using FHIR. We parse the JSON, insert it into tables in the enterprise data warehouse. We do a bunch of filtering on the events to make sure that we don't send things to in-baskets that PCPs don't want to see. And then we deliver the in-basket messages to the PCP via a proprietary Epic web service. The FHIR standards are published by HL7, and I've included the link where you can find them. As I said, we do quite a lot of filtering to make sure that in-basket noise is not overwhelming for PCPs. We validate the patient identity using the Cedars-Sinai MRN, the patient name, date of birth. We also check the member number. The encounter types that are notified are those that are really clinical encounters, and we don't notify for encounters such as pre-registration or outpatient labs or outpatient imaging, things like that. Content filtering, if the notification is incomplete data, we also filter that out. And then we only deliver the notifications to the primary care physician if they've seen the patient within the last 3 years. So the filtering removes quite a few of the notifications, as you can see from this list. Of all the notifications we received from Anthem, we're able to identify a PCP and deliver the notification to about 5%. This is an example of what a notification looks like. You will generally get the type of encounter, the place where it happened, the physician that took care of the patient. If the physician has a so-called direct messaging address, we will include that. And then the conditions or procedures that were associated with the encounter and in the Anthem claim. This is kind of a high-level view of the data flow. You can see that when the Anthem gets the claim, they process it, send it over the internet as encrypted FHIR transaction to us. It goes into our enterprise data warehouse where we apply the filtering and then send it to the PCP in basket using an Epic proprietary web service. The next time that the provider logs in and checks their in-basket, they will see the notification there. Now let's talk a little bit about quality measures. Quality measures are collected by Anthem for members to identify the gaps in care and notify the care team of the gaps that need to be filled. The legacy solution for this was a real-time HL7 ADT interface for Cedars-Sinai to Anthem, and a clinical summary in a CCDA document that was sent to Anthem several days after discharge. The delay was programmed in to make sure that the discharge dictation or discharge note was included in the CCDA. Anthem then processed the CCDAs to extract and map and code CCDA structured data, and then the narrative reports were actually human processed. The Anthem quality measures documentation for California can be found at the link that I'm showing here. There's quite a long list of them. We picked out a subset to work on. The interfaces are, the legacy interfaces as we showed here. So there's a HL7 interface that goes through a VPN tunnel, and then the CCDA documents go through XDSB, like any HIE document transfer over to the Anthem clinical repository. The FHIR quality measures for members are handled quite differently. So we have built a driver table of Cedars patients with active Anthem coverage, and we run an automated query for each quality measure on a daily or weekly basis, depending on the criteria and the time window that Anthem is interested in. And then after we marshal any new observations, we format them into JSON and push them to the Care Evolution endpoint over the internet. And the FHIR standards for quality measures are published by HL7 at the link that I'm showing here. Here are the quality measures that we've successfully tested so far. I won't read them off to you, but you can download the slides and look at them at your leisure. We've done 14 so far. There's plenty more to do. These were ones that were relatively straightforward to implement. This gives you an idea of the traffic on a typical weekday. There's the nutrition, which is the largest group, primarily weight, height, and BMI measures, which get collected at most office visits. The rest are considerably smaller volumes. And this diagram gives you kind of a high-level view of the quality measures, how they get transmitted from our EMR into the Anthem clinical repository. The lessons learned are plenty. The Vinci HL7 documentation is only a starting point. Up until recently, it's been kind of a moving target, still evolving. Some of the measures some of the use cases have been validated at this point. Others are still being validated or about to be validated. So you have to keep a close eye on what's happening with these standards. The validation of the use cases implemented with FHIR against the legacy solutions is pretty labor intensive and complex. An implementation team requires a lot of skill sets. You need database people, you need systems integration people, you need fire programmers, you need clinical analysts. You just need a lot of different skill sets to put this together. Our existing operational teams and governance processes really just weren't nimble enough for this. It would have taken a lot longer to go through the normal project channels. So this was primarily implemented by our technology R&D team. I want to thank Raniera Stiandan, Dinah Superior, and Matthew Sunnison, who were the heavy lifters at Cedars on this project. And we had a lot of support from Anthem and Carolution as well, our partners there. I'm open to any questions you may have. Or you can email me at the address shown here.